I'm just going to pretend like it's the same.
Good.
It's the
Yeah,
same as
it is.
talking not.
Hello.
It's just the same as talking to us normally.
Yeah.
We have a friends meeting, the sisterhood of the pens.
We do.
The
Welcome
stationary.
I think this is episode 15 that we've done of this, which sort of seems crazy.
Yes.
But I've had you on every show, Julia, but this one somehow. So welcome to Desk Chatter. You've now done the full circuit of shows. Actually, no, you haven't
even invite
you haven't
her.
been on
I
Coffee
did.
and Pens with Claire. You're one short of the full circle.
I just gotta pop in.
Get 20 questions. So we have Julia today with us. Yay!
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Julia.
Happy to be here. I am in this very weird state of like the workday was crazy. Very excited to talk about pens. Have wine. For some reason, cold.
Cheers.
Mexico right now, so it's a weird day.
We're having an ice storm outside, and my group chat to you guys 6 hours ago was like, I don't know that we're going to have power, which is sort of par for the course of life in Canada currently. It's like, we're having another ice storm. You know, the 7 feet of snow and 30 snow days this winter wasn't enough. Let's have 2 back-to-back ice storms in March and April.
Yeah. It's just to finish the winter like with some more cold.
Yeah.
I'm ready for spring for sure.
Oh, yes. I cannot wait. I'm hoping that when we travel to Chicago in May, it's hot.
It probably will be. I think we're going to have a very hot summer after this.
Yes. Julia, do you want to introduce who you are for the people that might not know?
Yes. For you guys, I am Julia. I am on YouTube as Julia here and on Instagram as Hi Julia here because I couldn't get the name because I tried. So I do content mostly about fountain pens and inks these days, but every now and again I do throw in some journaling and planning because I started on the internet as doing bullet journaling and planning. So yeah, I like to educate and have fun, and whatever I'm into, I'm going to put it on the internet. So cool.
That's fantastic. And we all learn from you, like, and support. Like, Carola is here and say, and
Carola is here.
I'm going to
Yes.
take a listen at the chat.
Okay. Just saw comments. I was on private chat and I was like, where is anyone here?
Carola is here. And Notes from Past Amy is here and actually live with us because
very nice.
The Mondo is here.
Yeah.
And Mom is complaining about another ice storm. Because that's today.
What are you guys drinking? We saw Julia's cup before.
Just water
I'm
for me.
Coffee.
I'm
with
also
my new
just
cup.
Water.
Ooh, nice.
Isn't it cute? And there is a quote here at the back.
Red Moscato from Texas.
Nice.
Very nice.
Lovely. Shannon is having the same weather that I am, which is ice storms with, thunder.
Shannon.
And we've also had snow.
I was going to ask if ice storm is like hail. Like, is it like
no. Okay.
What is happening in the ice storm?
Ice storm is rain that is falling, and when it hits trees, it freezes, or hits the road, it freezes.
Freezing rain.
And so right now you have, in some places, you can go online and see people's videos, inches of ice on tree branches, and trees are just snapping.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good time.
Yeah, that's only in Canada.
Oh yeah, only in Canada.
Maybe in Norway or those Nordic countries.
They'll probably put it in June. I was there in like late May, early June, and it was cold, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, you get like 1 month, 1.5 of summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but you enjoy that month so much that you go and swim in the lake, no matter the temperature.
Yeah.
yeah.
You want to do the outdoors.
Honestly, as soon as it was above, we had this brief window that it was like +7, +8, up to about +12. I was outside in leggings and a t-shirt. It was like, this is warm. This is great. We're having a great time. The snow's all gone.
And now,
Yeah.
hello weather. Anyways, I would love to know what you have on your desk, ladies. Tell us.
Does it mean you're going to be the first one to show?
Who will be?
You.
Me.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I do have my journals in my other desk, and right now I'm enjoying very much. This week is all about the traveling journal. I've been meeting friends, doing tours in Montreal, and that is easy to put in the bag. So I have my travel journal. I have another insert here with another handmade leather from Waxwing Leather. We are actually promoting this leather maker. We have the Montreal Pen Show coming in May, so that's something that we do. And then I have metallic pens today. So I thought about maybe I can show you some brass pens that I have. I want actually to do a shout out to Gravitas pens. So here we go. We have the Skittle and we have this other mini pocket pen. Then I have an Enzo pen. This is a prototype, and it's a retract pen. Everybody's talking about the vanishing point and stuff. This is another nice
How are you liking it? I've heard good things.
I really like it. I think because it is a prototype, it's not like the complete product for me. I got the prototype before they released the last version. So it kind of gets stuck a little bit when you're pulling down this one. So that I would change completely. But I would say I would love to have a thicker nib. So maybe I should bring it to a nib meister and see what they can do with it. And maybe talk to Julia. Julia, help me.
Yes, I am such a newbie.
And then this is kind of like a beautiful container of pen. I got this one at the Pen Show a long time ago. This one, I will read the name because I don't know the name of it's a Paper Skater metallic yellow aluminum pen holder. Did you get it? So it's
so it's not a pen, it's just a holder.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean?
It's a holder.
Hold.
Let me show you. So you open this one and you put sorry, I need to open it. You put your varsity pen inside.
Shut up right now.
How cool.
Shirt for your varsity costume.
A pen holder for the varsity. Isn't it cool? I tossed this one in the
varsity can be fancy.
room. How good it is.
So you don't put it, you hide it. You make it better.
Another varsity pen holder.
Wow.
Made by Tasha, by the way. Here you have your varsity.
I love it.
And this one opens differently. So the other one opens from the top, and this one you can put it here. And you have your pen. Your pen holder.
Love it.
Done.
I don't know if we can all do that.
That's what I have on my desk today.
She's like, today.
I don't know if I can beat that.
Whoever is brave, go next.
Oh my goodness. We can laugh now.
Well, I can go next. It is not going to be that exciting. I have my currently inked pens that I just inked up, so I don't want to spoil that. I don't know if people wait around for that or not, but I have those. But I also got in the mail today from Banu.
Ooh. From Paris?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
And I got it and immediately was like, what inks match? And just was doing
You found the ink immediately.
Yes. So it has a stub nib, this is my first Banu with a stub nib, and I was just curious how it compared to some of the other stubs because I'm very picky with them. And yeah, I like it so far.
Congratulations.
Yay.
No.
And it doesn't have the Schmidt. You probably cannot see that. It doesn't have the Schmidt stuff going on it. It just says Banu.
Oh,
That's
they're the new
normal
Nibs.
or
that's
not.
new.
So
I think they changed for Yovo. Did they?
Did they? It looks like
So just
looks like a Yovo.
only the stub and the Omniflex or whatever it is, whatever their two are Yovo nibs. But
That makes me happy.
they're still using Schmidt feeds.
Okay.
Like they've somehow there's some weird stuff going on to make them so that the feeds are still. So you should be able to put normal Banu nibs in that pen.
Okay.
That's nice.
But that nib is a Yovo, yet the feed is not, and the housing
is not. Interesting.
Okay.
And I can't remember who I had this conversation with. But I had this conversation with somebody because I went, but Schmidt doesn't make those nibs. And they went, no. And then we had this whole discussion.
Yeah. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, it's giving Yovo. But
yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, I have that. What else do I have that is of note? My mini plotter, which is what I use for work notes and scrap paper. I found a $5 pen at an antique store. It's a Wherever Supreme.
Vintage. Yes.
Vintage. And look at it. I think someone left it on like a heater or something because it has a little but do with that what you will.
Yes.
Yeah, I was very excited about that because I am in a very small town and was not expecting to see any fountain pens, and it was very gross, and I cleaned it up and I'm excited about it. It was 29 cents whenever it was first sold in 1959 or something. So
you did your research. Yes,
I did. I could probably go on and on about it, but I will not. It is cool. Yay.
I love it.
Did you use the pen flush? How'd you clean it?
I do have a pen flush. I don't know how to say the brands, like Nor something like that. But I put it in the ultrasonic and it didn't do anything crazy. And yeah, I haven't inked it up yet because I'm trying to decide what I want to put in it. But yeah, that is what's new on the desk.
Yay.
All right.
Alexandra, where I?
Sure, I can go. Comes as no surprise, my Travelers is still on my desk. Purely because the large one has all of the various gardening notes in it currently. And I've become obsessive to a large extent. And we now have about 400 seedlings on our dining room floor. And I make no apologies for that. People are just, having to walk very carefully. But then pen-wise, I'm still really liking the Navaler Nautilus Titanium.
So lovely.
I love how sleek it is.
So pretty. It's the same pen I talked about yesterday on Applebaum, and it is so excellent. I've currently got it inked up with Peter Moss. And then the other pen that I've really been reaching for this week is my Visconti Mirage in Emerald,
I love that one.
which is inked up with Sabi Midori. I'm on a huge Sabi Midori kick right now.
So good.
And I think I've probably got one ink fill left in my sample.
Oh, I would love to have that ink. Everybody's talking.
So I hope they have it at Chicago.
Yeah,
Because otherwise I will be sad.
They always bring extra of those ones.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. And even Midori is really good. It's a different shade, but it's really good. It's like a dusty green, a darker. Dusty. Very nice. You're laughing already.
I'm laughing at Corolla's comment,
Oh.
which is not untrue. If you follow Instagram, you have seen no shortage of seedling pictures on my stories. I have basically stopped posting pen content on Instagram, and I'm just posting plant content.
When I go shopping at your house, plants. I need plants in my garden.
I need help because all of mine die immediately.
Oh, same.
So
Yeah.
them. I'm sorry.
Low maintenance kind of garden I need.
I'm
I
good
love
at,
my
hostas. Cacti.
Yeah.
Good at that.
Oh, like nothing we're growing right now is particularly low maintenance. I'm like,
you need to tend to those seedlings.
Oh yeah.
Not my type of farming or gardening.
It's becoming a fairly large job to manage, and I am just like, we're like 6 weeks away from things going into the ground.
Oh, hopefully it's not frozen.
So, yeah.
So cool.
All
right, Marina.
I have this guy. If you guys have seen my stories, I got this really dirt cheap from Bergdorf Goodman. Sorry. Yeah, Bergdorf Goodman. So this used to be like, this is leather. And this used to be like $150, and I got it for like $20.
Oh, that's a good
because I waited that long. I waited to buy it in March. But listen, if you buy stuff like that, they usually have like a couple of months at it. So
yeah,
you can live with it. So that was my good thing to have on my desk, because like I have my small thing that comes with me every day.
Mm-hmm.
But this is something like, like it's giant. It's like a book. So I keep it on my desk. And then I have another of my auction finds. That's a stipula in, I think, is it amber celluloid.
And it's gorgeous.
And I've been after something like that. Couldn't find, because I'm not going to pay a lot of money for it. I'm cheap that way. So I was hoping to find someone's just going to be like, destashing. And they did. And, it's a medium in 18 karat gold. I'm like a big stipula fan. It's very niche, but I like it.
Yeah, it fits your vibe right now.
Yes.
Thank you. And then I have two that I brought in honor of Julia, because I thought we're going to talk some nibs. And I think just watching your stuff was something that I was like, oh, I would like to try the Imperial nib. And so I found the London Pen Co. Mm-hmm. And he had the specialty grind. So out of all the artisan pen makers, I think he's one of the few who has something like that available. And so I bought the Kirk Spear Imperial grind. And then I also bought the Cursive Smooth Italic by Mark Bacchus as well.
Ooh.
Good.
And that's just fun. And I kind of think of Julia whenever I write with these two.
Yay.
Hopefully good thoughts. God damn it, I hate this.
So
I love it.
I have a question for you, Julia. How did you start writing with fountain pens? And I know you come from the bullet journaling. I actually started writing with fountain pens before and then got into journaling in 2016. But I guess you started before, or I don't know how you got into the fountain pen community or writing with fountain pens.
Oh man. So it started mostly with a pen club that is no longer around by Paper Craft Pantry, I think it is what that shop is called. And they had like a little pen subscription, and every month they'll send you like a little gel pen, a little something fun. Well, the last one that they did, they sent the Kaweco iridescent fountain pen. I've had a fountain pen before, but I was like, I don't understand. Like it was just too much work, and I was too into my gel pens and my fine liners with my bullet journal. So I ended up giving this one a try. The cartridge was in there, and it was easy, just to pop it in, and it flowed right away. And I was like, this is lovely. It was a medium nib, they're just Kaweco blue ink or something. And I just fell in love, and it was downhill, uphill from there.
Down to the rabbit hole.
At the same time. So yeah, Kaweco got me.
Yeah, as Corolla said.
Yes.
Yeah. I have to say, the first time I picked up a sport that wrote really, really nicely, I fell down the rabbit hole and fell down hard.
Yeah. Yeah. How many do you have?
Too many. Too many.
Let's not talk about
questions. But also, like, the price range of pens in my collection just increased substantially.
Yeah.
It went from like, oh, this is a lot to spend on a pen for a sport to, oh, this is not a lot to spend on a pen.
This is like an add-on on the cart.
Exactly.
Oh.
This is how I get free shipping. Kaweco is
complete the order with the Kaweco.
Yeah.
There is always, you're 20 less for free shipping. Kaweco.
Jump in a sport.
Very, very nice. So you in the when you say you started hard with the fountain pens, when was this year when you started with fountain pens?
3 years now. So I think that would have been 2022.
Ooh.
Yeah. And like everything else, same thing with bullet journaling. Once I get an interest in something, I have to know everything. Like I will find all the communities. If I have any little question, I will Google it and research my little heart out. So it just became this little bit of an obsession, just learning all of these things. And there was so much to learn, and it's still so much to learn. And and I am very much in that mindset of have to try all the things, and especially not having like a stationery shop or anything close by. That's kind of where the whole, I want to try all the custom grinds. I want to try the brands. So yeah, that's how all the knowledge just kind of stacked on itself, is just curiosity.
So how did you move into, if people don't know, you've started in the past little bit to start grinding your own nibs. Like, how did that begin? So in a totally different industry, actually. So I had some nail stuff around because I am the base is I am very cheap. And so if I can figure out how to do things myself, I will attempt to do that. And like I said, over research. And so I had
a nail file, the little electric nail file. And I was like, that looks a lot like what they use to grind nibs. So I wonder if that will work. So I tried it, immediately burned out the battery of my electric nail thing. So I was like, nope. Exactly this. Okay, cool. That's not gonna work. So I'm like frantically looking around the house for other things that could work. My husband's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I kind of want to like figure out how to grind nibs now because I got one pretty good one with the nail thing." He was like, "Oh, we have a Dremel."
So this is where we're at in our house.
Rotary tool.
Because mom has just found a Dremel in the wood shop that was my grandfather's and went, I found a Dremel. How hard is it to grind nibs? And I went, I don't know. I don't have the skill set for that.
Yeah, no, get Jen House, get some just play nibs, because even the Dremel is a little rough on the nibs. So my husband like built this thing to keep the Dremel stable, so I can just like move the pin and not the Dremel. So I was doing that for a while. Saw Kirk at the Colorado Pin Show and was like catching him up, like, "Oh, I'm trying this, I'm doing that." And he was like, "Cool, but you might want to try to get one of these." And so I don't even know what it's called. It's some sort of dental tool that he told me about. Dental tools are where it's at for fountain pens.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, that's where I am now with nail sandpaper, like the finest nail sandpaper that I could find, and this is quality information, I'm sure.
This is my mother, Julia.
Oh. So yes, tools. Now I have tools, and I am the most not handy person ever in life. So
the thing is, she is particularly handy. She was over the moon to find this tool, and then she went, "Can I grind nibs with this?" And I went, "I don't know."
Oh, I think you might need to make friends with Doodlebutt.
Yes,
because he does all that stuff.
Videos.
Engineering person.
There are not enough nib grinding videos online, I'm sure, for a reason. So people are out there causing chaos, but
there is a career behind that. So you need to build up. You cannot.
We might be problematic.
Just grind nibs.
I figured, so I do have a background in tattooing and lots of weird things. I get into something, I'm cheap, I'm going to figure out how to do it, but I really was an apprentice for a little bit. And some of the skills kind of cross over as far as like things going zzz, like, you know, being a little crazy that way. Also just like that concentration of like being in it and looking at the details and stuff. So yeah, weird segue there with tattooing, but
we're all about the weird segues here.
Julia's curriculum, from nails to tattoo to
Julia will not pay for services. What is this? Oh yeah. Hey, one of my favorite ones that I've done so far is an architect, like a reverse architect, and it is spicy and it's like yummy.
So I saw your mono line.
Easiest one.
I desperately want one.
Oh yes.
Send me a pen. At this point, you can send me
but it's so hard for me to send you a pen. Can I just buy a nib from Kirk and send you a nib?
You could do that. Yeah. I'm like, at this point, I am like, you can send me your pens. I will not charge you because things may not go wrong or go right. Things might not go right. Things may not go wrong. But
I may just like buy a nib and send it to you.
Yes.
Because like it's really hard for me to send you a pen.
Yeah, totally understand. And similar to tattoos, like whenever I was first learning how to do that, like I couldn't charge people and I couldn't be like, give me money when I may ruin your body for a second.
That's permanent.
Yes, and that is permanent.
Oh God!
I'm really good at
Shanna,
nails.
is that for San Francisco? Because I think we're meeting.
Yes,
Some of us are
birthday
meeting.
party. Birthday gift for Shannon is nails, tattoo, and a nib.
Yes. Oh,
She doesn't
so
get
cool.
to choose the body part though, where you're gonna put the tattoo on. So,
All right. So my mother now has a follow-up question.
Well,
Oh. All right.
the answer is always yes if you're willing.
Correct answer.
Yeah. Very nice. What other interests do you have? For example, if you have to learn something new about the fountain pen, do you have something in mind that you would like to learn? Now you're into nibs, but is there anything that you would like to do? Like, for example, there is Karina that designed a beautiful pen, and there is Coffee Master Co. that released a new pen. Would that something that will interest you in creating something new? And
Yes. Well, I was talking to Luke, Papa J Studio, about this just the other day. I would love to make pens that would be awesome. However, I do not have room for that. So it could not be a thing, but I would love to design a pen. I think that would be super fun. I love color, if that is not obvious. I love color. I love design. That's what I do day in and day out. So yeah, I think that would be super special. I'm not going to bash anyone, but people have been ghosting me.
Honestly, that seems to be a fairly common occurrence in the pen world. The number of like,
I was asking, you told me to reach out to you.
Exactly.
And now you're not emailing me back. So,
I know.
Okay, cool. Just say never mind.
I think that's what I don't understand. Like when people go, can you, or like they start the conversation with me and then they don't respond. It's like,
oh,
now I look crazy emailing you 4 or 5 more times. So now we're done.
Exactly.
Isn't it what we talked about, the preserving knowledge, kind of not really gatekeeping a little, changing mind. It can be that.
Yeah. It's a crazy world out there. Hey, I still think most fountain pen folks are my favorite folks. But it's very interesting out here in these streets.
It is.
Yeah.
So I have a nib on my desk and I've decided to crowdsource what gets done with it a little bit because I don't know what I want done with it other than the fact that currently I hate it. It is
dry, too wet.
A pilot vanishing point.
Okay.
Medium. Basically, I just don't like the line on it. And so I have an appointment with Annabelle at Chicago where this becomes something.
Ooh.
But what does this become, people?
Oh my God, I just
What are
listened
your
to
options
Fanatic
with
with her, and she apparently is amazing with like I don't know if you're into the extra fine stuff, but apparently her extra fines are super smooth. At least that's what she was saying on the Pen Addict.
I'm not a huge fan of extra fines normally, but I am willing to consider it because Annabelle's grinds are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Currently, I've got a broad in my pen, but the line for the medium was both like too thin and like not. it just pretty much didn't work with any ink. Apparently, her architects are unmatched.
Ooh.
I do like an
I'm
architect.
interested. Yep. Same.
I don't even know if I'm going to Chicago, but man, I heard appointments are probably gone now, huh?
Yeah, so they
Dang.
went up this morning at
they're gone.
noon.
Yeah. And there is also a lineup. I think she's doing like a
No,
it's
No.
all the appointment
no. She announced today on Instagram that it was just
sold out.
appointments.
Mhm.
She's
Wow.
only doing appointments. She's not doing walk-ups this
Santa.
year.
Hmm.
But you
Wow.
can daisy chain onto somebody else's appointment. So if you've got a friend that has an appointment and that friend is only taking one pen,
Yeah.
she books off for 2 pens in each time slot. And so you can, apparently she still has some appointments open. So if you're going to Chicago and you want an Annabelle appointment, go try and snag
That's
one
nice.
now over on her website.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
San Francisco, she'll probably open end of June. That's what she did last year.
So what she's doing this year, Mom, okay, fine.
Mom, like, oh, I'm gonna just go.
It's not like I'm running a podcast or anything. Excuse me momentarily.
Yes, you need to get an appointment. But also, just to shout out to other Nib Meisters, there are so many that go to Chicago.
There's
Kirk
a
is going to be there.
Yep.
So if
Kirk-
you don't find an appointment with one, try another one. All of the Nib Meisters are really, really nice.
There are very few on the list this year.
Hmm.
Is Matthew going?
Matthew's not on the list, so if he's
Ooh.
going, he's not on the vendor list.
Yeah, it was a lot. San Francisco, the one I didn't make last year. And DC is always a lot of people. So I would imagine Chicago should be the same. But
Is Matt going? He was okay. Apparently Matt is going.
All
Right.
right.
all right.
Yeah, Matt comes usually to Toronto.
He does.
Canada. I think he's going to.
Ooh. So he's sharing a table again, which is he's back at Heinz, which is why he's not on the list.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Are they sharing the table with Stationary Universe?
No, I think Tori's at Penrome.
Oh, okay.
Luke is doing something. Papa J Studio is doing something with White Bear pins. I think they're
Yeah,
Ooh.
Luke and Michaela are together.
Very nice. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm doing the countdown. Oh, we're so close.
I cannot believe I'm trying to last minute go. Like there's so many people going, and
Yeah.
I'm having withdrawals. So
Let's hope we don't have any issues at the border. That's in my.
I'll come get you guys. We'll run across. No.
Da, 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 da.
Aw.
We will be okay. We will
Cool.
be okay.
Mom,
People
I
want
think
to
I got
meet
you an
Julia.
appointment.
How do you get an appointment? I'm over here like freaking out.
It's like you just go to her website.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see it under upcoming events. Duh. I was like on about gallery, like on every other.
Where are you?
This is what happens when I just too crazy.
Yeah, no, I think I got Mom the time slot before mine. So I think we're back to back, which is great.
I was happy to see
Bailey had made plans with my mother to go to an art museum.
Art museum. I'm going to the art museum too. By the way,
No, Kari, you're getting drinks. You know what you're doing. You're getting drinks with
No. I say no, but I
With
will
Claire.
probably go to the tasting, but I will not taste anything. Well, I don't know if I'm going to taste or not. I will try not to get drunk again. That's
there. If you want your appointment with Annabelle, I've posted the link in the chat.
Nice.
That's fantastic. I was saying about the art museum. I went to the Museum of Fine Arts in Montreal, and they had the big wave, the Hokusai big wave the other time, and I went back with one of my children in the past weekend just to get the books. So I have the Hokusai book, and I have like a collection of Japanese art.
Lovely. It was crazy there, though. You had to like stand in a line to see this little print, gorgeous print. I was super excited to see it when I was in Chicago last, but like I was not expecting to stand in a line, and like it was this whole thing, and I was
Here there was no line. We went early, and they have this kind of a Japanese inspired entrance. So they have a kind of a setup from a collector here in Canada that collected smaller teacups, small tokens, small Buddha. So there was like, I took pictures of everything. And then at the end, after a humongous sculpture, it was the big wave. So you kind of go around.
cool.
There is kind of a movement, I would say. It's not like in one single spot. You can move around, you can walk, and then come back on the other side. So it was accessible, I would say.
So because we're talking about cool books, I've had this one tucked up here since Christmas, and I haven't had an excuse to talk about it. This is the Hermes pop-up book of scarf design, which I have wanted for forever, and finally got this year. Where is the really cool?
Ooh, pop-up.
It's all pop-up scarf designs.
All pop-up?
It's all pop-up.
That's fun.
It's 12 of their most famous scarf designs as pop-ups.
Wow.
Fun.
Which is so cool. You can buy it on Amazon.
Oh, very nice.
An actual Hermes book that you can buy on Amazon for about $40.
Wow.
And why is the first thing I thought of, like whenever you pulled the book, I was like, what ink is that? What color?
No, exactly.
You start matching your inks with everything.
Exactly.
I go, what ink is going to match with my outfit today?
But if you're a person that's like really into sort of pattern design stuff,
really, very good.
This is really cool to have.
Yeah,
so cool.
That's a book I would totally have. Incredible. I like architectural books. So I've been in search of catalogs from the Victorian era. I like the architecture, I would say the Art Deco time in New York, especially. And I've been searching for those catalogs, like, Julia Sky Bambi. We met one day and she's like, talking about architecture, some book and inspiring books. And I've been in search of those ones. And I found some. I don't have them handy now. They are in the library, but I will show you next time. They have drawings of those buildings. And I like urban drawings. So for me, it's like, I would love to try one of those drawings in my notebook. And yeah, that's what I would like to show. Next time I will bring the book so I can show you and see what we have.
I have
what are you getting?
So my sister-in-law got me a book that is the color charts from, I think, mainly French color charts. So this lady who collected all the historic color charts there are.
Oh wow.
And it's so many. It's so many.
That's a great reference book.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just fascinating. It's the commercials for all kinds of brands, but it's in French. So in what I do, which is watercolor making mostly, I usually refer to Winsor & Newton and Reeves, all the British stuff. And also I do not speak French, so just because this has been translated into English, and I was like, oh my god, there's a whole world, because I keep on forgetting the French have done this a lot. And it's just so fascinating. So that's cool.
And then we will have our own collection of Swatch catalogs in the future. Vintage ink swatch catalog.
Oh boy, yeah. Getting a little bit of a crazy collection over here.
Well, honestly, I think I spent 15 hours swatching out all my inks on a live stream like 2 weeks ago.
Wow. All the inks.
All the inks.
Nice.
I will spend days.
We re-swatched them. Oh, I did it over a series of days. But we re-swatched them all and organized them by brand.
Wow.
Lovely. I was just talking about you like not too long ago about the time where you swatched all the inks at some pen show or something and you live streamed the entire
Chicago. I was there.
So I never go on Discord. When I go on Discord and I've been tagged in something, and what I don't pay attention to that. I'm like, who the fuck stole my thumbnail? Why did someone steal my thumbnail?
These days, I mean, not surprising.
And it was like, oh, actually, someone has just shared the craziness that was me sitting there swatching inks for 4 hours in the Atlas Discord. But I was so upset that somebody had stolen my thumbnail from last year's video. And didn't realize that the tag notification I'd received was from that post, and somebody going, hey, you did this video. This video was super cool. And it also shows all the inks that were available to test last year because somebody had asked, I guess.
How do you guys keep your swatches? And I know, Alexandra, you keep those mini swatches. Do you have books? Do you have those cards? How do you do it?
Oh, I guess I'll have to pull it out.
I have just 2 things.
I have not updated it, but I have a custom-made sketchbook with hot press watercolor paper that a bookbinder in New York made for me. And that's, so I sourced this fabric, and she's Italian, but she lives in New York. So she book bound this for me, and that's basically what I did.
Beautiful. So, what paper do you have going on in there?
It's hot press for watercolor. So it was not made for this purpose originally, but I don't hate it. That's basically the paper I use my fountain pens on the most for sketching anyway.
Yeah.
So is it perfect for someone who writes? Probably not, but for me it's fine.
Right.
I think it's, let me tell you, I think it's Arches. Yeah. Arches, professional, nice. You know, type of thing. So
it's nice. Expensive paper.
It's nice hot press. I was going to say, is it 100% cotton or is it a cotton celluloid mix? But you answered that.
Yeah.
That's gorgeous.
Yep, it's a fancy one. It's one of the most expensive I have, I think.
Very nice.
Nice indeed. I have my Filofax. It's my pen and ink. Well, just now it's an ink directory now because I had to kick the pens out because it's gotten too thick. So I just have them like organized by color.
Ooh, very nice.
The color, the brand, and whether it's a shimmer or sheen. And the paper is Kikoyo business paper.
Okay.
Just because I thought it was kind of a middle of the road. It's about the same on Tomoe, about the same on Cosmo Airlight. So
do you swatch both sides or swatch
just one side? Mm-hmm. Just in case we get a little show through on the other. I want it to be as true as possible. And then for all the fun things you see on Instagram, I just keep all of those in this loose, crazy.
Oh, I love that.
So I have a question about your fun things from Instagram.
Yes.
How do you plan out the colors for those? Like, are you just going through your swatch book and holding up the pen to them and seeing what looks okay?
Yeah, it's not very much planned at all, other than I'm gonna pick 5 inks and I kind of want it to follow the look of the pen. So for example, this one I just did recently, but I'm gonna pick a yellow or orange or something for the top and then, you know, kind of go down. the
color
colors
scheme
of the pen. Yeah, so that it looks like it blends in. But yeah, I'm literally just flipping pages, kind of like that one, kind of like that one, and yeah.
No,
That's
I
fun.
remember I'd seen many of them, and then you posted the Esterbrook SD Peacock one. Whenever you posted that one, and it was that one that like was the first one that I went, oh, this is so amazingly cool.
I wish that I could put all the inks in the pen at one time, and like the old, like, well, they're not old. They still have the multi-flip pens, but I wish there was a fountain pen that out to the void. Is there a way that we can have multiple inks in one pen?
Can we have all the fun things in the same pen?
I don't know how that would work because the feed, like, it would, blend and be crazy.
Yeah. If you could stack like 4 Pilot Decimos,
it will be a humongous body.
But
yeah, it'd be a humongous body.
It would be. But I think based on the nib and feed size, like this is the size you're aiming. Like,
but we could love a hefty pen.
We could love a hefty
pen. Very true.
And to be fair, the color changing ballpoints are not small pens.
That is true.
Yeah, those are. I remember those from high school. Those are
They're still going strong in the planner community. Those multi-gel pens.
The multi-gel pens, the multi-color pens. Yeah. I've been kind of like I never had those pens. I had fine liners. Yes, I had, but I always wrote with fountain pens, like for a long time. So for me, it was like a no-brainer. You can change the ink, but inks went crazy in the past, I would say 4 or 5 years. Like there was not this variety of inks before. I remember getting like a different shade of blue and it was like, oh my God, this turquoise. It was like, wow, you go crazy. And then suddenly in the 2020, I would say that was the boom of all the shimmer inks, and everybody was talking about gold antiqua, like not gold antiqua. It was like a Robert Oster and Golden Barrel and all those ones like with gold. Anyways, that's long story short. I think
shimmer. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I've noticed more shimmer recently, but I have Pelikan inks from 2003. And they have turquoise. I mean, the thing is that the shading, I think, was also not
Yeah.
So now you can get something like that with shimmer and shading.
Yeah.
We had some, but we didn't really. Yeah.
They are improving the formula too. Before I remember it, I used to clog all my pens by using shimmer. And now the formulas of the inks have changed, so I can get, especially my Venus, I put shimmer inks. I don't mind. I get all those in shimmer. So very nice. Let me show you really quick. I have many of these ones. I swatch my inks in Victorian albums. These are photo albums, vintage albums. I have, I try not to buy too many new things. I like to reuse and repurpose old stuff. And here in my cabinet of curiosities, I say this is my craft room. I have these old albums I repurpose for ink swatch.
I love that.
So I have, I cannot fit too many, but I have.
Do you do your favorites, or like how do you decide what goes in that?
I started doing with some of the brands that I own the most. And now this
cool
one
idea.
is on the making. So this one is the last one, but I have many of these ones on a shelving unit. And I just swatch the inks. Normally what I do, if I'm going to post in Instagram, I will swatch it here right away. But sometimes I get ink. Now I have lots of Tasha inks. So I need to put them there. Eventually they will go there. But I haven't had the time to do it. I like the idea of having something smaller, like yours, that you swatch really tiny. So that would be an idea. Maybe I could try that later. Or big. like Marina. Yeah.
I just like so inspired by your idea, Kari, because I also thrift, and so the difference between the albums that you showed and the ones that are expensive ones are from the 20s. People are crazy about like 20s to 40s, and so 70s, 80s we had a lot of photo albums, but those go for like $1, just because like people don't know what to do with them, and they're not antiques yet.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a great idea. Like, you just gave really cool idea for people.
I like, for example, stamping too. And it goes because I like journaling and I like crafting and I like collage and stuff. So it came out to say, I need to use these ink stamps. So I started stamping those ones there, and I say, oh, this is perfect. And I started swatching the first couple of inks, and I say, no, I need to get more of these ones. So I finished the first one, and I went on a search, thrifting and getting all over the city to see if I can get those ones. And every time I find one, I will bring it home. So right now, the only empty one that is here, because the other ones are already full. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums I have.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
So,
that is just awesome.
When I run out of these albums and I cannot get anything, I will actually probably repurpose another notebook or something. I like to look beautiful, like I like this feminine touch.
Yeah, I think that's super fun too. To could like match whatever's happening on the page of that.
Yeah, so I like that.
Lovely.
Nice. Okay. Any more tips or tricks, Kari?
No, give us all the ideas, Kari.
No, these are the ink swatches. My idea would be to have another meeting with Julia, and maybe we can do and learn something from Julia. All those art tricks.
My super fancy spoon tricks
with the ink.
Yeah. Just like what is near me that I can use to swatch. Now it's really cool to just try whatever's around and see what works with swatching, I think.
Yes.
Who knew that just swatching inks would be a whole kind of, not a separate hobby, but it's like other offshoot.
Yeah, I would agree. I spend a lot of time swatching inks.
Yeah, it's insane.
It is.
And for example, there is also Carola that likes the flowers, and she creates this artwork with this ink swatch, which is fantastic. I adore, and I feel so inspired to try that. But then I have other things in my brain, and I'm like, okay, I should try this one also. So many ways, it's like impossible to try everything out. But one day we need to sit and do one page of this, one other page of that. Yeah.
I want to show you guys the one I just did yesterday, but I will have to leave the room because my ink journal is in the filming room. It's like a filming corner. But
well, we can talk about predictions for Chicago Pen Show ink, because Colorverse is doing it. They've had Andrew William in the past has done a green, a sort of brick red, and a dark blue last year. So what do we think Colorverse is going to do? Because Colorverse tends to do a pretty good show ink.
Last year it was a gray. It was a gray ink.
Last year it was a blue.
Chicago for me, it's like 3 colors. It's the gray, it's the blue,
and the lyrium. I'm telling about the Colorverse.
Colorverse did a show ink last year for Chicago?
Last year the Chicago Pen Show was gray. Let me show you.
Somehow I missed it, Kari.
Maybe it's going to be green.
Maybe, or like that red-orange color that's kind of in the middle of the flag.
Oh, no, Kari, that one was just a freebie. They're doing the actual show ink. That's Colorverse Antimatter.
Everyone's like, oh no, Bailey's like, please God, not another blue.
Yeah.
Not blue.
Not another blue.
Not another blue.
Yeah,
No.
I
So
don't think it will
this
be
year,
blue.
Colorverse is replacing Anderillium as makers of the show ink.
Okay.
So
Very good. I adore Colorverse inks. They
I
are
do too.
super pigmented. For
I like
artwork,
yeah.
I love.
I like their bottles better.
I have
Yeah, and beryllium is
funny
like
inks.
what, a jar, a jam jar.
Yeah.
It was
Like
a
that.
big, fat jar. I have one in arm's length, so that's cool. Yeah, it's like
Ooh. I have other ones that are not that those ones. I don't know if you remember the set that comes with 8 inks or 10 inks. I don't remember.
Oh, you've got a sample set.
Yeah, so it's smaller. It's
Little
not
jars.
that small, and it comes with all. You know what happened to me with one of those ones? I was going to swatch one ink, and I forgot that I had 2 nib dip pens. I put a dirty one inside.
Oh,
No, contamination.
Now I have a brown color instead of light blue.
Oh no.
It's a nice brown.
you're like, it works. So I grabbed my swatch from
Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
it's their Vert for my French is terrible. Vert Forêt for I think it's green forest is what it translates to.
Vert forêt.
Forêt. There we go. Yeah, I wanted in a giveaway. I'm entering all the ink giveaways because I'm on an ink buying ban, and that totally makes sense.
Oh, I see, but I do the same thing. I'm like, I'm not buying. Oh, that was lightning. I do this. I go, you know what? I'm not buying pens or ink until Chicago, and then I'm like, actually, affiliate credit doesn't count. And then I'm like, actually, I can enter whatever giveaways I want, and that doesn't count either. And so somehow I have still made purchases, but I have not spent any quote unquote real money.
Yo.
That's how I live my fountain pen life, actually. So
Yes. Yes.
thank you for any affiliate.
Exactly. If you use an affiliate, if you're a member of this channel, if you even just watch the ads.
Yes.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Exactly. We need to encourage those because, you know, you have to live.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And new things are coming out all the time, and I cannot, you guys. So thank you.
Yeah. You know what? This hobby is super expensive.
It definitely can be.
We are spending lots of money. I've been spending for ages. Lots of money, and even
I think
more.
someone had yesterday on the 1st of April, and I keep on forgetting that people make jokes on the 1st of April. And then someone posted this story. I don't know if you've seen it, but it was so effective because it's true. Because I talked to her and was like, this was effective because it's so true. Because she was like, I'm going to be slowly detaching because the hobby is so expensive.
Oh, yeah, Lisa.
Yeah. And a lot of people apparently did, like, got scared and responded, you know, or wanted her pens or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no, and we talked about it, and she's like, this was so effective because it's so true, though. You know, it's an expensive hobby.
There were 2 yesterday I really liked. I liked Gold Spot's
Ink flex thing.
the ink.
I want that ink.
I found that really funny. Because it was the first thing I saw in the morning when I opened Instagram. And I was so sure it was either going to be Gold Spot or Atlas that had put it together, and I was not disappointed it was Gold Spot. Because I would, I think there's many of us that would like to be able to rent a Visconti and send it back. Like, I don't need to have this pen long term.
Yeah,
I just need to try it.
See, people get super creative on April Fool's Day, and I'm like, hey, that works for me. The Apple Boom thing with the
Exactly.
I
And
need
we
that in my
talked
life.
about that yesterday because honestly, I know craft stores that have that option at checkout, but also I don't see it as being any different from Van Ness having the option to not include your invoice in your package.
Yeah.
True.
It's the same thing.
And I was about to say, people are saying it's like a great idea about renting pens. There is like a small website, but I think it's only for mostly UK
Yeah.
users. So it exists technically, but
Yeah.
it's not here.
Was that slice of bacon ink not real either? Because I was like, that's a cool color.
I
It was great.
I DM'd them about that and I went, I know this isn't real, that you haven't made an ink that smells like bacon. Because it wasn't just that it looked
Oh, it
like
was
bacon,
scented as
it
well.
was bacon scented as well. And I went, but I know I would buy a bottle, and I think many people would.
No,
Yeah.
I
And
cannot
I'm a
stand
vegetarian.
some smells. You know, for example, when they come with the smell, those inks that come scented, you know, diamond inks, they tend to scent, or in some other brands. I cannot stand the smell. I prefer like odorless inks.
I hate scented inks. Just the idea of having a bacon colored ink that also smelled like bacon that was supposedly made by Warengall was just hysterical.
There was a trend in nail polish, I think, like that too for a while.
What? No.
Which
is, yeah.
Oh, wow. Scent. Red wine scented ink. That's also good. Coffee ink.
That one from Diamine, the 2024 ink vent, the Forest the Toe. I liked the way that one smelled at first. It smelled like a cake and really sweet. But I went to ink it up in a pen last week, and I was like, "This smells like cough syrup, like cherry cough syrup." And I was like,
"Yeah,
ew,
go wrong."
Yeah, no. So
it did not age well.
talking about Diamine, has anyone? They sort of got soft launched on the internet, and then somebody found them on Goulet's website recently.
Mm-hmm.
The Diamine permanent inks.
The Forever inks.
Yeah, whatever they're called.
I haven't seen those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw on Brad from Pen Addict on a stream recently looked at them. Someone else has them too because he refused to go to Goulet, which totally good. But yeah, I can't remember who else had them. But it looks really cool. The colors are really nice and like
it does.
Like,
and the interesting thing is they seem to be mixable based on some of the reviews I've seen.
Birmingham had that. They had permanent and mixable inks, and I have them somewhere. But as standalone, they were not great, especially yellow. But when you mix them, it's fun.
Yeah, apparently. So the person, honestly, I can't remember who it was, unfortunately. If you go to Reddit and search about them, they were trending for like 2 days on Reddit. They were in the top 10 posts.
Yeah.
But they were super interesting.
Yeah.
Not that I use much waterproof ink other than black, but it is.
Yeah, I have been in search of more kind of permanent inks because I am going to teach a workshop at the Montreal Pen Show that will include a little bit of urban sketching on top of ink. We need permanent ink, and we already got some from Aegean, you know, the organizers. We are going to offer these workshops for free, so we are trying to get material and everything for free. And I got a couple of Diatramentis permanent that I need to try out. I got a blue and a sepia, so those are on my desk, soon to be tried out. So
I know people really like the Diatramentis, whatever the dark gray is.
Yeah, it's good.
Is that a permanent color?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should.
think there are others, there are others. And then if you want really cost effective and if you don't hate them, noodlers.
Yeah, we need permanent ink because we will be working with backgrounds, wet backgrounds, and then, or vice versa, we do the drawing and then put the ink on top. So we need to work with products that are not going to bleed through or
Right.
get messed up
Yeah.
with the water. So, yeah,
Mondo's given
it's
some
really crazy.
fog gray, diatramentus fog gray.
Oh, the instruments, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting a gray, a brown for permanent inks for that same reason, like to do the line work and then
Yeah.
Exactly. And then ink on top or swatch on top. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've-
Murray had some great stuff in that department. And Lennon Toolbar, I use their Firmament green, I think. It's like dark green. So I like that one.
Oh, nice.
I've been using, because I can't be normal in my line work, Octopus Fluid Certified Document Ink in Violet.
Ooh, very nice.
Violet.
Which is
like a dark
It
purple?
is. It is
Oh,
a
nice.
very dark purple. Its name is very deceiving. It is not the same as their write and draw inks.
Mhm.
This is a totally different line of ink. And
I actually got a sample
great.
from your mom.
yeah,
From
I know you
Chile.
did.
Oh, that's
Very
gorgeous.
nice.
That is
That's beautiful.
Well, yeah. It's
Yeah.
pretty, but it's not. Yeah.
I like that for permanent for the line work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like if you don't want, I'm very committed to Sailor Kirigiro as my black. But if you want something that is not a black, I'm finding that these days I'm leaning more towards a dark purple over a dark blue or gray for line work.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Have you tried is the oh my god, is platinum like the blackest black
Oh, the
ink?
oh,
I have a bottle in my cart at Gold Spot.
yeah. I need that
can't-
ink. Everybody's
cannot
talking about it.
I can't decide if it's stupid to get it or not.
Same.
Because
Right.
it seems so much more high maintenance than a normal black. But it also seems really cool.
Yeah.
You know? Oh,
Corolla loves it.
It's like
I
choose.
love it. Okay, Carola, you convinced me.
But
gonna
it's
get that
also
ink.
so expensive.
How was
Well-
cleaning Corolla? How was cleaning for real though?
Yeah, like actually
Black.
Corolla, like how
The carbon black is the most traditional. Like I would say that all the sketchers that I know, they have the carbon black.
Mhm.
I don't like such a dark black, and I will say I tend to get my black a little bit on the lighter side because I like to mix it up with water, and then again I have some shading that I like to work on. So for me, the Colorverse Permanent is the ink that I've been using the most, more than the black, the carbon black. But the darkest black I would like to have, just because, you need that in life.
My perspective on that is, I think it's because you use watercolors. If you did
Oh.
gouache, then maybe you would want that. It's just because, just the way
It's too
watercolors
harsh of a line,
are.
the black.
Huh?
It's too harsh of a line.
Yeah,
You need to have
That's what I'm
something
saying.
like
And
that.
you don't need that with watercolors, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I was like, if you go with like inks that are, the brown and the greens, I feel like, and the gray, it's just there's something so much more softer about it and so much more fitting
Versatile.
than just like very intense dark line, as you alluded to.
In my painting classes, like we were not allowed black ink. You had to mix everything. If you wanted black, you had to mix it, and it was never like black.
Yeah. It's darkened than my Tova Fulenoke brush. Oh wow.
Oh
wow.
With a brush.
Oh, that
Would be nice for
want it more
for a-
my combo.
just line drawing.
Yeah,
When
Bailey,
you like
$60 for an ink.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it is
Gold
$60.
Goldspot currently has it for 48,
Oh, 48.
which is the
Again.
cheapest place you can get it is Goldspot, because I have priced it out before.
How
I
much
don't know why they're
there?
offering it $12 cheaper than everywhere else, but they are.
Yeah.
Is it
Vanta
like
Black.
Vanta Black?
Fanta
Yes.
Black. What's that one?
Sort of.
Vanta Black is so matte and dark.
I'll be back. I'll show you.
It doesn't absorb all the light like Vanta Black does. I think it's significantly more black, and it's got significantly more carbon in it than their normal black inks.
There is this guy who like did a response to that.
Oh, I have the paint of that actually.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know who I'm talking about. Stuart Sample.
Yeah.
So he hates the guy who did the Vanta Black.
Oh,
So he came out with his own darkest ink as a response to it. It's so funny. So his hatred started with the fact that the artist should afford ink. So his ink is like, I think $15. Compared to like,
just a question: is that a regular ink or is it's a permanent?
I don't think it's fountain pen. Yeah, it is permanent, but I don't think it's fountain pen friendly. I think
Maybe it
it's
is a calligraphy. Is it calligraphy?
I think so. It's like super small
Yeah.
right on there.
I have
But I think
one calligraphy ink that I adore, but it is from Italy. It came with the set that my friend brought from Italy. You know those little bottles that they put in the nib holder, and they give you the whole set. The nib holder, the some nibs, and then the ink. That ink is so fantastic. I will actually use that one. It's not that fluid. That's my only issue I have. Like, and then it takes forever to dry. So that's why I don't use it. But for calligraphy writing, it's just perfect.
So according to Goldspot, this black is 46.8% darker than the previous platinum black ink. So it is significantly more black. And it's hard to justify that much for a 60 ml bottle of ink.
Yeah.
Like you're now getting up
having so many black inks already.
I don't though. I own a single black ink because it works for me and it's waterproof. Like at that price range, you're starting to get up into like the specialty inks, like the really shimmery, like the ones that shift.
What do you use for black, Alexandra?
Kurigiro from Sailor.
Oh, very good.
Permanent as well?
It is.
Okay.
It's great. They've got a blue, black, and a black. I've tried them all. I prefer the black. And really, the only paper I've found that it won't dry 100% on is Arch watercolor paper. It dries on the old stuff, but not the post 2023 stuff after they changed the sizing of the paper.
Oh, okay.
Nice. I'm finding I'm not loving platinum carbon black like long term. It's getting a little
not aging well.
Hard start. Yeah, a little bit of hard starting. So, I'm like,
I will. So I have it in a Hongdian forest, extra fine. It has now been inked up for 17 months. The pen has never been cleaned. I will leave it on my desk for like a week and a half, up to like a month and a bit, and the pen will still write as long as it's been capped.
Yeah.
And all I have to do if it's
pen.
Not writing is to like dip it in a little bit of water, and it's good to go. See, I don't want to do that with a waterproof ink.
No.
I live on the crazy side of life.
But I love this ink in that pen because it lasts forever. My biggest issue with this ink is that I hate inking it up from this bottle because I re-ink the pen probably every 3 weeks if I'm actively using it. And I can never ink up this pen without getting stuff all over my hand. So it has to be the last thing I do during the day in my office so that it's not all over everything.
Move everything.
Exactly.
I had ink forever after I inked all my pens to go to Alexandra's house. I think the last bit of ink removed from, I don't know, I have long nails, it goes inside. It will never come out. So you have to put your hands and soak it in Oxy Power.
I still have, I don't know if you can see, I still have blue ink in my nail bed from Sunday.
Like, there we go. What ink do we have on our hands today?
Yeah, I can't have long nails. This
Let
is
me
like the
tell
longest
you.
I can have is like
It's
this
kind of
kind.
pink. So
Nice.
We're at the point of comparing our nails. So I used to. So I was a art kid, and one of my friends was a music kid too. And so I remember her telling me she could never grow the nails out just because for piano playing.
Yep.
And I am now a ceramicist, and now I can't do it either because with ceramics, I have to be like, very careful. Any nail. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm feeling the pain. I can't have the nails.
But once you start having your nails, you don't want to go back.
So then my question would be, do you guys, so I keep an ink remover in the bathroom to get the worst of it off my hands. Is that an approach you guys take, or do you just like deal with it on your hands for forever?
Oh, no. I try my best to remove, but if it doesn't remove, I go to this. Let me show you.
I have a weird thing I do.
Oh, I kind of weird thing. It's a soapy thing that I put in a magic eraser. And then done.
Nice.
Lava soap. Yeah, that's good actually.
It's good.
I use a bar soap and then with the magic sponge.
So I have a thing that I do when I need to use inks and then I have ink hands. I keep my sink full of dishes. So by the end of me washing the dishes,
and
my hands are fine.
They're really better.
Well,
life hack.
I feel like not on purpose, that's also what I do. But 9 times out of 10, I'm still going to have ink on my hands, no matter how careful I try to be.
I see that, for example, some people will get some gloves in order to ink so they don't clean. I am not that type of person. And let me tell you, I do have a set of gloves here just in case I need my hands clean. I never use them. They're there. But
I enjoy making people really uncomfortable during videos and live streams when I'm inking from a sample vial that's just loose on my desk. It really makes people uncomfortable. And I'm like, if it makes you that uncomfortable, you can solve the problem.
Yeah.
I have no money to solve said problem, so I just live on the edge.
Yes. I have a stabilizer, and if it's not around, I'm not going to get it.
You need to do it fast. You run out of ink there. I needed to put ink in my pen. There you go.
Yeah. No, it's what getting a cheap desk and having the IKEA desk pads that are like $4 is for.
Yeah. That's why I lacquered my desk. Water, clean, done.
Yeah. I always do that. Like,
I have this little mat that I put there sometimes if I know that I'm going to ink lots of things. So
yeah, if my husband comes by and is like, "Oh, you spilled ink," I'm like, "It's mostly water." That's like my thing.
Okay.
Mostly water.
It's mostly water. Yeah.
I remember when I started doing kind of using leather journals, there were these kind of influencers that used to put ink in their covers to make it authentic and to make it. I don't know if you remember this one.
I remember, and like the people that had like coffee mugs.
Coffee
like, I'm sorry. These things are so expensive. I'm going to use like all the leather protector I can to make sure that if I spill ink on this, it wipes off.
Sparrow used to sell a journal cover already stained with ink and coffee, whatever. Chick Sparrow, a long time ago, I'm talking about 2016 or something like that. People were like crazy about stains on the leather. Anyways, Bettina, I don't mind.
It's like one of those things. I can't believe it was a trend. That's
so funny.
I'm so sorry.
Well,
Was it Bay State Blue? Bay State Blue.
well,
A friend at our pen and planner meetup like keeps trying to get me to try Bay State Blue. Like he keeps having it out, and I was like, put it away,
No.
put it away.
Like Kari has sat down with me to film 20 questions, and it like you can go back and you can watch that episode because she brings up a blue ink that she hates, and I went, oh, was it Bay State Blue?
oh yeah.
Which was the beginning of all of
I
the
don't like
many
that.
episodes.
I think that's the biggest mess I made in my life with ink.
Yeah.
With that ink.
So many people, like 2 people have had to repaint rooms because of Bay State Blue.
Exactly.
I have PTSD because of that.
Yeah, like somebody described Bay State Blue as a murdered Smurf on their front porch
No,
because their
really
bottle
came out
broke
like-
in transit,
yeah.
and it sat on their porch all day and just leaked ink.
I'm just gonna tell you, like one of the best thrifts this year for me was this awesome pen, and it was only inked once with Bay State Blue. I threw out the cartridge, and it took like 2 days of soaking to get the rest out of the nib. Like it's that intense, and it was once inked once.
You know, it went into the fingerprints. It was like so deep. It was like a tattoo.
You're like, this my
That
DNA
thing is
now. This is
intense.
my DNA.
Anti-pen tattoo that will not come out with anything. I will brush, I will sponge, nothing. Nothing. It was like intense.
Yeah, which brings me to the interesting thing that I've discovered. There are pen restorers, professional pen restorers, who will void the warranty to your pen if you have used Noodler's ink, and specifically this one. It's funny.
Bailey, it's probably Parker Blue Black. And I say that as somebody who just spent 2.5 weeks
Parker Quink.
fully cleaning a Parker pen that I'm pretty sure was not clean from the time it was purchased.
Ooh.
To the extent that I knew the pieces came apart, and there was so much dry and crusty ink that the pieces would not come apart. And so with a pen like that, like you really just have to give up a mug you don't like and just soak it, change the water twice a day until it runs clear-ish.
Yeah.
I'm like, good enough.
Good enough.
There are some people that are connecting right now.
I know. People are going to have to watch the replay because I'm suspicious that the outside world is not great.
Everything has ended outside.
Yeah. The lightning has stopped, but like there is now ice on my window.
Yeah, we have some rain already here. I can feel it coming down. But yeah, I'm really happy that we connected tonight, guys. Thank you so much. You make me laugh a lot today.
My face hurts.
And we
Yeah,
had a lot of
needed.
comments today. Thank you for the people that stayed up so late with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had like, I think 30 people at the height of it. I don't.
Oh, that's so nice.
And yeah, everyone's socials are linked in the description. So
Come find us.
come find us on other platforms.
And Julia, thank you for coming.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. I needed this actually at the end of the day, real bad. I needed it. So
Fair enough. All right. Well, I hope everyone has a good evening, and thanks so much for watching.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Goodbye.